Barcelona are stunned by Benfica, Chelsea suffer a setback, it's Ronaldo to the rescue for Man United, and a transfer roundup all coming up on today's OneFootball Daily News. As I'm your host Angelina Kelly, let's get into it. So first up, and things last night in the Champions League went from bad to worse for Barcelona as they lost again 3-0 to Benfica. And what this means is that Barcelona have now lost their first two matches in a European competition for the first time since the 1972-73 season in the UEFA Cup. Now, credit where credit is due for Benfica. They looked pretty comfortable in the game all in all, and they got off to a really energetic start. It was Darwin Núñez who managed to score two of the goals, and Rafa da Silva also managed to find the back of the net. And at the end of the day, it was just a case of the fact that Benfica took their chances and made the most of them. Whereas for Barcelona, they only actually registered one shot on target. Imagine Barcelona in a Champions League game only registering one shot on target. Absolutely insane. Luke de Jong missed out on one or two chances, and to be honest, the only positive of the game for Barcelona was that Pedri and Frenkie de Jong did manage to have some good games. So at the bottom of the table, the five-time winners of the Champions League now face the prospects of not progressing to the knockout rounds of the competition for the first time since the 2003-2004 season. And what this means is that even more questions are being raised about the future of Ronald Koeman. Now, you normally would have expected Barcelona to have given him the boot when they lost that game to Bayern Munich, but they have held on to him. It has been a bit of a rocky start to life in La Liga as well, and it's just not looking good. Now, to be fair to Koeman, he is managing Barcelona, yes, one of the most successful clubs in European history, but he's managing them at a very tumultuous, difficult time. Of course, their spending limit is a lot lower than their rivals Real Madrid. They have had a financial crisis that we've spoken about before on the Daily News. Of course, the departure of Lionel Messi, and he doesn't really have the best bench or the best squad really to pick from, especially when you compare it to previous squads that Barcelona have had. Whilst he has been great at bringing through young talent, some of his tactical changes definitely do have to be questioned. Now, if Barcelona do manage to finish third in the group, they would drop into the Europa League. But at this moment in time, if they do bow out of the competition completely, if they finish at the bottom of this group, maybe that's the best thing for Barcelona. Maybe they simply need to focus on La Liga as they are going through this transitional period. Their next fixture will be against Dynamo Kiev, and if Ronald Koeman is in charge for that game, it is going to be a vital game for him. Now, one positive thing for Koeman is that although he has said that he's not sure if he has the backing of the club, he has stated that he believes he has the backing of the players, which was emphasised after the game. Frenkie de Jong has come out and said that getting rid of the manager is not the answer to their problems. Sergio Busquets has said that although it is easy to just get rid of a manager, they all have to take some collective responsibility as to what is going on with the club. Meanwhile, of course, in their group in the Champions League, Bayern Munich managed to get a 5-0 victory over Dynamo Kiev. It was Robert Lewandowski that was on the score sheet, and also Leroy Sané, who scored a great goal, which he then admitted was not actually an intentional goal. It was supposed to be a cross, but still a great goal from him as he is finding his form with Bayern Munich since his move from Manchester City. And yeah, once again from Bayern Munich, another great performance. Meanwhile, for Champions League champions Chelsea, they did not have the best game last night as they faced Juventus in Turin, and it was the home team that managed to stifle anything really that Chelsea could produce in what was a really important win for the Italian side. It was a night of vintage Italian defending, and Max Allegri really did get everything right, especially when it came down to the tactics. Juventus were on top form. They made 25 clearances compared to Chelsea's 1. They also were great with their tackles, interceptions, and on top of this, it was a great atmosphere that was created by the Juventus fans in what was really a unified game, and one of their best players had to be Federico Chiesa. He was absolutely incredible. The 23-year-old was Juventus' main attacking threat, and he really did cause Chelsea some problems, and of course got the winning goal just 11 seconds into the second half of the game and proved why he is so vital to the Juventus team. Now, although Chelsea did manage 74% of the possession and 16 attempts at goal, the stats really do not tell the full story, as it was an extremely frustrating night for Thomas Tuchel's men. He has come out and said that he can't even understand why they couldn't perform as well as we have seen them perform in the past. And yeah, Romelu Lukaku didn't actually manage to get a shot goal until the 74th minute. A very difficult night for Chelsea, definitely a learning curve for them as they have been on a bit of a high recently, but I'm sure that they can bounce back from this in Europe. For Juventus, this determined performance really was a massive win. It hasn't been plain sailing for them since the departure of Cristiano Ronaldo in the Champions League or in Serie A, and it's great to see that they are finally finding their feet in this group. Meanwhile, in the other game in the group, Zenit St. Petersburg managed to get a win over Malmo, which leaves them third in the group. And finally, another game from the Champions League that we have got to talk about is Manchester United's victory over Villarreal, and it was down to Cristiano Ronaldo Ronaldo to score their winning goal about 5 minutes into stoppage time in what was a classic Manchester United win. Now, although Man United do take 3 points, it is debatable as to whether they actually deserve them, because on the whole, Villarreal were probably the better team, and had it not been for a masterclass from David De Gea, I think that they definitely would have been quite a few goals up by the first half alone. For Man United, the pressure was definitely on with this game. They were heading for their third straight game without a victory, and there was a lot of discussions about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if he has what it takes to take this team to winning a trophy, and also if he should remain in the dugout. So I'm sure he was breathing a massive sigh of relief when he saw that link-up play between Lingard and Ronaldo to get that goal. And also shout out to Alex Telles, who also managed to score a brilliant goal for Manchester United. Of course, all the headlines are about Ronaldo, as they should be. We've seen him do this before, come to the rescue of a team in these Champions League nights. He has now managed to make the most appearances in the competition, and now no player has scored more 90th minute winning goals in the Champions League than the player. But you do have to question, whilst it was a great performance from Ronaldo, is this perhaps masking a few of the issues that are going on at Manchester United? As at the end of the day, if they truly want to be competing for silverware like the Champions League, they have to be winning games against the likes of Villarreal with absolute ease. Whilst there have been some really great moments for Man United, and fans, as we saw last night, are visibly overjoyed that Ronaldo has returned, you can't paper over all of the cracks. Now, they do have some tough fixtures coming up against the likes of Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City, Champions League fixtures as well, all before the end of November, and it will be interesting to see how Manchester United fare. And I think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be relying on even more individual brilliant performances like the one from Ronaldo last night. And meanwhile, in the other game in their group, it was Atalanta who managed to get a 1-0 victory over Young Boys, and in the other group in the Champions League, RB Salzburg goes to the top of the group as they got a victory over Lille. Meanwhile, Wolfsburg were held to a 1-1 draw with Sevilla. And now we have a transfer roundup. This is where I take a look at some of the other news and transfers going on in the footballing world. And first up, Flamengo have booked their place in the Copa Libertadores final. Now, they managed to get a 4-0 victory over Barcelona on aggregate. Bruno Henrique scored all 4 of those goals, and they will face Palmeiras in the final. Meanwhile, over in Italy, it seems like Juventus are focusing their attention on Fiorentina star Dusan Vlahovic. Now, it seemed like he would be signing a contract renewal with the club, but according to reports, they are a little bit worried now as to whether the player will actually stay. According to reports, Arsenal are willing to offer Alexandre Lacazette to Sevilla in order to sign forward Youssef En-Nesyri. And finally, Manchester City are reportedly very interested in the signing of Bayer Leverkusen's Florian Wirtz. So that's it for today's OneFootball Daily News. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, I will see you all later.